Thank you for staying with us for our News 2 special report celebrating the International African American Museum, where history comes alive. The International African American Museum represents the journey from Africa across the Atlantic Ocean and through to America. We sat down with the CEO of the International African American Museum before it opened to the public. Dr. Tanya Matthews says the paths and pursuits of enslaved Africans and ultimately African Americans are on display as testimony to triumph over tribulations.
One of the things that we can do as a First Voice museum, an African American museum telling African American stories, is we can put that period in context and recognize that this period of slavery is neither the beginning nor the end of our story, but it's an important part in the middle.
The International African American Museum is the second largest museum dedicated to African American history and culture in America. Standing on Gadsden's Wharf, the place where nearly half of all enslaved people were brought to North America, the museum is expected to fuel the Lowcountry's economic engine. So how will you measure the museum's success?
Obviously, we're going to have our economic impact studies, and obviously we're going to be looking at our ability to fundraise. But we also want to look at, say, our member role, not because folks pay to be members, but because that's the number of people who raise their hand to say, we stand with the International African American Museum.
The CEO of Explore Charleston, Helen Hill, says, in part, the International African American Museum stands poised to be a transformative force in the Charleston economy. Let's talk about some of the delays, some of the challenges that you faced in getting the museum open.
I think in retrospect, as I think about our delays in context, it's extraordinary that we broke ground in late 2019. And then the world turned upside down for a good 2 years or so, and we find ourselves here in 2023. Some of those delays were our commitment to get this absolutely right. And I hope and I expect that when folks walk into the museum, they won't say, wow, I can't believe it took so long. They'll say, oh my, how did they get it done so quickly?
And when she describes what they did inside of the museum, she directs our attention to interactive technology in every gallery, on every wall, and atop every table. She says the museum's mission is to help visitors connect with history.
So now imagine doing it 8 hours a day.
The International African American Museum, designed to be a special place where people will engage with artifacts and exhibits and information in a unique way, in this place where history is alive.